Hi guys, happy Friday everybody. I'm doing the video something a little bit different to what I normally do. I've made some travel junk journals. They're a little bit different to what I normally make, but I've seen a few videos on YouTube and I wanted to, have a go at just making a few travel journals. They're based on astrology and astronomy. I got them right. There's 4 of the journals that are for sale. They're all named differently. One's called Magic, one's called Dream, one's called Moonlight, and one's called Luna. They're all based around stars, the moon, and of course astrology and astronomy. They're called travel journals because they're not as thick as the normal journals. They're small enough to fit into your bag to take on holiday with you. They're perfect for yourself if you've never done junk journaling before and you're a little bit unsure and you find the large junk journals are quite, what's the word, quite overpowering, and you think, oh god, this large journal, I don't want to ruin it and things like that. So if you've never journaled before, these are the perfect journals to try and see if you like it, not about the hefty price tag. They're a perfect gift for someone else who's thinking about journaling and don't know if they're going to enjoy it or not. So that's that. So as you can see, I've got 2 that have the same materials, which are these 2. Believe it or not, they was all made from cereal boxes. They are kind of, they're not hard back, but they're solid enough. When I make my normal journals, they are hard back, but these they're still solid. These 2 have been wrapped in like a midnight blue fabric. It's a bit thing at the back because I've just finished them. And then I've added some golds on the cover, and then I've used 2 pictures which I got off Pinterest, which is one of a lady on the moon and a lady sat on the moon, and then I've just used some of my fabrics and then some vintage music paper and random bits of fabrics. And then I've got these tassels, and the funny thing is I only had this tassel, and I thought I really like this tassel and I want them all to have tassels, so I made my own. So this one is not what I've made, but all the other 3 I've made my own tassels. So there's them 2 which are the same colours, and one's called Magic and one's called Dream. And then I have these 2 which are backed in like a silver fabric, and again they're the same pictures as the other 2, and one's called Moonlight and one's called Luna. And yes, my pigeon is named after Luna. And again, the tassels are handmade by myself. I'm not going to flip through each and every single one of them because I've used the same ephemera, the same printouts and things like that. The pages are kind of similar. Also there's a few, some of the fabrics inside are different. Some of, there's some bits and pieces that are completely different on the inside, but they are very similar on the inside. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 away and I'll just flip through the other two. So this is the first one which I'll flip through. I'll just point the camera down. So these will all be tied together with some of these luscious fabrics. I didn't want to tie them when I was doing the video because it hides the front of the journals, but whoever, you know, wants to purchase, and you know, when they receive them, they will be tied with some lace or ribbon or some sort of silk. I just wanted to, you know, show the cover off. There's just bits of fabric stuck on it, but there's nothing. So yep, so this one's called Dream, and I'll just take this off. All of them have the same on, this little dangle and a crocodile clip, but I'll just take that off, and they all kind of look very similar on the inside. So we'll go inside. This is an envelope, and it's got like a moon, and obviously we have like a pocket. I've not put nothing in. And then we have this lovely like silver fabric, which was gifted to me from a family member who worked in like a Marks and Spencer store, should we say, and these were just like samples of some of the clothes. As you can see, we've got a vintage cigarette card, and it says on it shadows and rainbows, which I thought was quite fitting for the journal, with it being around, you know, the dream, moon and things like that. And I also forgot to add, these can be like dream journals, so like, you know, if you've had a dream, you can write your dream in and then write the meanings behind the dreams, which I've done myself. So anyway, and then every single journal, the covers, the insides are similar, and I have these cutouts which are from the graphics fair, which there's quite a lot of stuff in here from the graphics fair. There's quite a lot of these inspirational quotes, so we'll get stuck in. So this is obviously, you know, shadows and rainbow card, which was quite fitting. And then we've got a library card, and then I've dyed it with like some like blues and things, and then some Tim Holtz rusty hinges, I think it's called. Then I've used some what's the word, embossing powder, which was like a rabbit with a moon behind it, again quite fitting. This was printed off the graphics fair, and then I've laminated it, and then I've added a charm. Originally I was going to have these on my cover, but it didn't look right and I wasn't happy, so I changed my mind. So that's that. And then again, a lot of stuff out of here is from the graphics fair. And then in each of these journals there is a vintage letter, which is from the same people, and inside is actual vintage letters from around the 1950s, 1960s, and it is the same family. 1965. One family's from Sweden, and then the other one is from England. And this lovely marble effect paper, this is from the graphics fair. And then I've added some washi tape on, which says Moon Magic, obviously quite fitting for the journal. Some vintage ledger, and then again these are printed off from the graphics fair, and this is a vintage letter which was printed off, and it kind of stood out to me because it said, "May your album ever shine with friendship glittering And I just thought, you know, with it being like a moon astrology and astronomy journal, I just thought, you know, shine and glitter, I thought that was quite fitting for the journal. So they were printed off and then printed onto tea dye papers, and then just a journaling card there. And I've done a bit of inking, but you can't really tell on the camera because my lighting is pretty poor from where I am, and it's gold. And I've left quite a lot of journaling space. A lot of the ephemera is all paper clipped on. And then there's an envelope again. Everything what's in this journal is in the other journals. We've got, after I'd inked everything and stuff, I added a vintage stamp, and then you just flip it over, and then there's just some journaling cards. Again, just some more washi tape, and then we have a vintage ticket for a bus fare, and then again another journaling card, and then this was printed off from the graphics fair onto tea dye paper, and then inked it up to make it look a bit grungy and old. And we've got a star journaling card, some lovely gold fabric there. Same again, just a moon and the sea, and then this is printed off from Pinterest onto tea dye paper, and then this is vintage ledger. And then again, this is a tuck pocket, there's nothing added in, with just a little ribbon, some more paper to journal on, some lovely lace, and then this is like a shimmery kind of like vellum look. And then this is in each journal, and it's I found it in one of my books from the 1930s, and I didn't want to use the original, so I copied it onto my laptop and then printed it off onto tea dye paper, and that's what is the moon. And there's a little moon at the bottom there and stars. Stuck. And these can, obviously these can be placed anywhere in the journal. That's why, you know, there's a lot of bits and pieces added in. And there's like another cute saying. Done a bit of collage in there with some vintage music paper and Edith folding out of a book, and the vintage button and vintage lace and vintage ledger. One of my lovely stamps with a moon, and then again just some random ephemera. And another saying, and then we've just got some random paper to journal on, and then this pink one here, this is from a 1911 newspaper. And then we have Luna, the moon goddess, and then a large journaling card, and then we have this lace which I've wrapped around and stitched. Another saying, some more ledger paper, and then this lovely see-through fabric, and if you can see it's got stars on it, and then I've added some gold, and then a saying, and just like a pocket at the bottom here, the owl. And this is a glassine bag with just some leftover bits. And then that is the end of the first, which is the dream travel journal. So what I'll do is I'll quickly flip through the silver one. Like I said, they're all very similar, all the same ephemera has been used. I'll just quickly flip through. Another cigarette card there, which is vintage. Another vintage envelope with a letter inside. Like I said, they're all very similar, but they've just all have different layouts and things like that. They've got vintage lace, vintage ledger paper. This is there's two journals that have the there's two journals that have the lunar images in, and then there's two journals that have the moon in. I forgot to add that because originally I was going to have two of the lunar images on the front of the journal, and then I was going to have two moons on the other two journals, but then I changed my mind, and again that has a dangle on that. So that's the end of that one. I'm not going to go through the other two because they are completely the same, and I'm just going to be repeating myself over and over. But I do have all four now up for sale, but the image is different. I've got a blue and a silver one with the lady on the moon, and then I have a blue and a silver one with the lady sat on the moon. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.